Join me every Tuesday for fun and games and play for cash. That's right. Sylvia Mid, the fun word guessing game is back and you can come aboard and play. It's simple. Just email us your name and contact information and you are in there, baby. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Tim's Tidbit on another hump day. And yeah, we'll make your Wednesday maybe just a bit better. How you doing down in Texas, Larry?
We chilling now.
Are you chilling now?
Seriously,
What happened to the 90 degrees?
we chilling. It's going down. It's like 79 and 69. So we all right now. So cool.
You all on
Cool.
the chill.
Yeah, no pun intended. We
Hey,
chilling.
it's better than up north, just a bit north of us, eh? In Michigan, they had snow flurries and shit. So I'm like,
We don't
wow.
want that.
No, I
we
am
don't.
not ready for all that, We're a bit chilly, but I mean, I'm not ready for all that.
No, I ain't gonna get a McFlurry from Dairy Queen, but that's
Maybe a
as close I get to a fury.
McFlurry.
It's close I'm getting to a fury.
Hey, man, let's see. What the heck are we going to talk about tonight on our topics? Let's pop that up here. The not-so-muddy Mississippi. Politics tonight. Trump's continuing problems. Well, yeah. And again, at the end of the show, the asshole of the week. Anyhow, let's get right into it. And I don't know that, if a lot of the people that are watching and or listening to us tonight here on the radio too, had a chance to see what was happening with the Mississippi, where it's drying up and it's going to cause all kinds of issues because that's a major shipping lane. There we go again with our supply chain issues. So and messing up our environment. So let's see. Check this out, man. Amazing, just amazing, my friend.
Keeping an eye on Earth, severe drought spreading across the Midwest is pushing the Mississippi River's levels to record lows. Photos show how the river has contracted away from its banks. The usually mighty Mississippi looks more like a trickle in some areas, with dry sand exposed where several feet of water usually flows. The low levels could lead to major shipping delays. Get this, the Mississippi River Basin produces nearly 92% of U.S. agricultural exports.
There you go.
Man.
It's drying up, and I mean, we talked about some of the others too. We talked about the Colorado. We talked about, some of the, Lake Mead, some of these others where they're dumping bodies and shit. They're bringing bodies, right? All of a sudden they're finding these bodies in barrels?
Yeah, they finna start finding everything now.
They got it. And, what was that they found down in Texas, from that was like a dinosaur footprint, right?
Oh, that's right. It sure did. Yep.
So,
the good thing about that is it's going to be wintertime, so we're going to get some snow and we're going to get some cool weather. Maybe we get a little I can't even say the
precipitation.
Some precipitation. I cannot get that. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
Maybe a little bit of that, but yeah, that's how it is, man. It's hot. It was just hot for a long time. It wasn't raining, so. The crazy part about it is you said major shipping.
Oh, absolutely. That the Mississippi, they got the barges that are running up and down. And I mean, it has always been, since the, probably 1800s, a major, channel for people to ship, you know,
So you know what that
north
sounds
and
like
south.
to me is let's get ready for inflation. That's another reason to raise prices.
You know, it'll have an impact. It'll definitely have an impact. But then again, let's do a little recount. You know, here's what I was talking about earlier with the U.S. drought, low water levels, like in our lakes, in our rivers, just like everywhere. Check us out.
At first glance, this could almost be the surface of Mars, a barren landscape devoid of any life. But this isn't a distant planet. This is Lake Mead, America's largest reservoir, and it's quickly evaporating.
This is very high stakes poker we're playing here.
Rising temperatures are drying up the Colorado River, leaving the lake at only 27% capacity.
This circumstance is unusual, and we haven't seen this intense of a drought for at least 1,200 years. There are huge economic implications if the water supply starts to be shut off.
Low water levels won't just impact the environment and the millions of people who rely on it. It could prevent the Hoover Dam from generating electricity too. The U.S. government could take the unprecedented move of forcing cuts to water consumption if states can't work together to reduce usage.
It is in our authorities to act unilaterally to protect the system.
7 states at the river's basin have a yearly allotment of water totaling about 700 cubic meters per second. That's about 15 million football fields, each roughly half a meter deep, providing water to about 40 million people. Arizona and Nevada have already experienced water cuts. California is exempt for now, but not immune.
The science and the data leads us to now understand that we will lose 10% of our water supply by 2040.
The state's agriculture sector uses the bulk of Lake Mead's water. It's now looking to retool agricultural infrastructure that usually directs floodwaters caused by snowmelt out to sea.
One way to do that potentially is to build a water conveyance and flood control system where you can reroute episodic floodwaters.
Clearly, we can't just put a Band-Aid on this problem.
Well, billions of dollars have been committed to combat the changing climate. They might only be a drop in the bucket of what's needed after decades of drought. Reggie Cicchini, Global News, Washington.
Ooh. They say about 2040. I'm like,
They're going to be some thirsty, thirsty people. You know, and you think about it. I mean, it's more than just that. You know, it's more, obviously, you know, they talked about how are they going to drive the turbines in the dams that supply electricity.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not going to be able to do that. So you're going to be like without electricity. Hello. You know,
back to like Amish and candles and stuff again. You had to go back old school.
We talked about shipping up and down there, right? And, you know, and then it all comes back to what? You know,
money.
Global warming, actually, right? I mean,
oh, I forgot, but yeah, global warming, yeah, of course,
is the major culprit of it all.
And then on top of that, they got to start taking the money, investing into making the changes, some wind turbines, or even with the start thinking like the Hoover Dam might be in trouble. So why don't you start using solar? I'm like, you got to start thinking. That one guy had a very good idea: redirect the melting water to from the dam to another area. So whatever, you know, so that's a real good idea to restore their water supply. Something, you know, because we're too smart to let that happen, and we have too much money because global warming is going to happen. We already know it's going to happen. They didn't say that years ago. We can't stop it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, well, you know, the thing that bothers and there's a presidential message, you know, that has come out, you know, that, I mean, people need to listen to, that is talking about this whole freaking issue. Just check this out.
Each of us all across this great land has a stake in maintaining and improving environmental quality, clean air and clean water, the wise use of our land, the protection of wildlife and natural beauty, parks for all to enjoy. These are part of the birthright of every American. To guarantee that birthright, we must act, and act decisively. It is literally now or never. During the past 3 years, we have made a good start. We have passed new laws to protect the environment, and we have mobilized the power of public concern. But there is much yet to be done. 18 of the major environmental proposals which I put forward a year ago has still not received final action by the Congress. I repeat today my urgent request for congressional action on this much-needed legislation. And I am also presenting a number of new proposals. The environmental agenda now before the Congress includes laws to deal with water pollution, pesticide hazards, ocean dumping, excessive noise, careless land development, and many other environmental problems. These problems will not stand still for politics or for partisanship. They demand to be met now. By meeting them now, we can make 1972 the best year ever for environmental progress.
He was right. Is that Nixon? He was right, man.
Isn't that sad as hell? Wait, think about it. 1972. That's 50 years ago, Larry.
And look where we're at now. And it's happening. I'm like, we can't stop it. We can't stop it because.
And he's saying the same thing. Congress, can you do something? Can you pass some bills and regulate? 50 years ago, he's asking Congress. So you think, how long has Congress had to regulate that? Come up with something.
They don't care. You know what I'm saying?
They don't give a shit.
At the end of the day, you got all the people that's putting money in their pocket to be in Congress, to be in the House and the Senate. So they got these industries and all this pollution, all this stuff. It's the problem why we have these issues, but they're making so much money off of it. Congress is not going to do anything. They're going to block those dollar bills. They're going to continue to make global warming a real deal. It's already a real deal. Global warming is going to actually do its thing, and it's already doing its thing now. So,
yeah, look what it's doing to us.
It's going to destroy this earth. Period. And it's just because of people being greedy.
And you 100%. You've got a lot of people. Lining the pockets of politicians. I hate to say that. Who knows? To what extent and what. But but they also put their puppets in place. It puts us right into the next topic. And that almost comes to some of the candidates. It's amazing, some of the candidates that are out there, but one in particular is Herschel. Herschel's always in the news for either paying for abortions that he doesn't pay for, or putting a gun to his girlfriend's house, her head round, right? And now apparently he likes to flip the badge out. He did it the other night, apparently, in a political debate. But check this out. Let's get to Herschel.
Herschel Walker is doubling down today, insisting that his police badge is the real deal.
Which is a legit badge. I have the right to work with the police and getting things done.
The Republican candidate is being widely mocked for showing off the badge at Friday night's debate with incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock.
One thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer. I am with many police officers.
Does he really think he's working with law enforcement because he has that badge? I can't decide if he believes it or is he trying.
I believe he does believe that.
Wow.
The badge is honorary, and it turns out Walker has at least 3 of them from 3 different sheriffs in Georgia.
And where's this one from?
This is from my hometown. This is from Johnson County.
Does that have arresting authority, or it's an honorary badge?
It is an honorary badge, but they can call me whenever they want me, and I have the authority to do things for them, to work with them on things.
Actually, nope. His tin badge is basically just a souvenir.
It means absolutely nothing.
J. Tom Morgan served as a Georgia prosecutor. Could you pull somebody over?
Absolutely not.
Could you write a speeding ticket?
Absolutely not.
Can you get out of a speeding ticket?
You shouldn't be able to.
What about him on stage holding it up? Is that a crime?
No, because he's not using it to be a law enforcement officer. He's using it to be a politician.
Online jokesters are having a field day. Memes of the Senate candidate with movie cops are flooding social media. But Herschel Walker really seems to believe it's no joke.
I ask you to put that prop away.
Well, it's not a prop. This is real.
He called his badge a prop. God. It's just like you about to get down with a woman and you all proud of you. Hey, Tim, it's like you finna get down with a female and you all proud. You think you got some stuff, you pull it out. She's like, hey, put that little thing away.
Put that little prop away. Oh, the real deal.
This ain't no prop. This is the real prop away. Put that strap on it. Put that prop up.
Oh, man. Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, this... Yeah, I don't know what to say about that whole situation. That's unbelievable.
You know what, though? I ain't gonna lie, man. It's funny, but it's better than watching those other politicians pull guns out and blast. I'm going to shoot the competition head off.
Well, and then there's that, too. Yeah, you know, there's...
That's even more pathetic. They're using violence.
The political ads and the mashups. Let's call them mashups, right?
Mashup, mudslinging,
mashups.
Talking,
you know, it's
high siding, capping.
But you know,
the dissing.
But it's amazing, you know, and that so people are going to, vote him into office. In, Georgia, good luck if that happens. I mean.
Well, you got to understand, though, if he's dumb enough to get up there and flash his honorary badge and believe that he can actually use it to help someone, then he must have a lot of smart people around him. That's what you do. You get a lot of smart people around you. So whenever you make mistakes and mess up, you got somebody say, hey, let's try this. Let's try this. That didn't work, but we can do this. We can use this, even though that didn't work. We can use this to our favor and do this. So he's surrounded by a lot of smart people. They're politicians.
This seems like he could be easily manipulated to me. From my perspective, that's all I have to say all about that.
That's true, too. Because he's not a smart
individual.
I don't know.
He claims to have a degree. Apparently, he doesn't have a degree. He claims to be a cop. He's not like really a cop. I mean, he claims to went to outer space.
Is she cute?
I don't know. Say what?
Honorary badge. Herschel still got muscles, so I'm like, you gotta respect the man that got some muscles. They got a badge.
Could be worse. I mean, hey, in Florida, did you hear what about DeSantis' little voter fraud police? Oh, yeah. Check it out, man. Check us out. We'll come back to this. They could move to Florida. This would be funny to watch. Not really funny to watch.
Florida and Texas, I tell you.
Well, from Ohio to Florida, where there is outrage tonight over newly released body cam footage showing the arrests of several people accused of voter fraud. A 2018 state constitutional amendment restored the right to vote for many ex-felons, but confusion remains over the law 4 years later. Here's CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
In footage obtained by CBS News on August 18th,
I got you.
Police showed up at the Tampa home of Tony Patterson, a registered sex offender who was told he was under arrest for voter fraud.
Voter fraud? What is voter fraud?
Voting when you're not supposed to, sir.
That same day, Ramona Oliver, who served 18 years on a second-degree murder charge, was arrested for voting illegally in 2020, even though she'd received a voter ID card from the state.
I'm like, voter fraud? I voted, but I ain't commit no fraud. And I was headed to work when y'all stopped me.
Patterson, Oliver, and 18 others were accused of violating a 2018 state law that allows most former felons to vote after they complete their sentences, but not those convicted of murder or felony sex offenses, as Patterson and Oliver were. They now face 5 years in prison. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis touted the arrests that same day.
They did not get their rights restored, and yet they went ahead and voted anyways. That is against the law, and now they're going to pay the price for it.
The arrests were made following investigations by a controversial state police force established by the governor to investigate voter fraud. In the videos, first obtained by the Tampa Bay Times, Patterson tells a police officer he was misled.
Why would y'all let me vote if I wasn't able to vote?
I'm not sure, buddy. I don't know.
And that confusion is exactly what voting experts say shouldn't have been allowed in the first place.
Nah, that's just bullshit.
And isn't that crazy? You got
Bullshit, man.
you know, suppress, you know, the vote. There's another way to suppress the vote, you know. We'll go out
Man, you
into
know,
the
look at
neighborhoods
the
and
incarceration rates in America. Most of them are African American males and females. So, what now?
come on. If that wasn't a racist move, what was? But I'm not allowed to say it was because
Yeah, I know they're gonna. Yeah, you know, gonna have a hate book.
hate book.
That is cold. I'm like, out of all the things you get arrested for, they go. What about all
You
these other guys
imagine?
that's been
You imagine
voter
getting a
fraud?
knock on the door like that?
What about the white collar voter fraud? What about that?
Mm.
What about all these big wigs and senators and then all these other people that commit voter fraud and they're not even getting touched or even looked at because they didn't go to jail? What about all these people that have gotten away with all these? Okay. It's just a scam. Okay. For one thing, if they didn't know, they got to get them a lawyer and say they just wasn't sure they didn't know. And I really believe that if they didn't know. Okay. So I'm kind of confused on that myself.
Yeah, they didn't know.
So while they saying they need to rock the vote, they need to make sure these ex-convicts know their rights. Even they should have some kind of questionnaire or some kind of something to let them know you can't. How can you and cannot vote prevent you from voting?
I would have a couple of questions. You know, why would you receive a voter registration when, you know, the state should have the same record that you're, you know, a felon or whatever? I mean,
it's a setup.
You know, yeah, it all does get confusing, and you know,
even then, when you go cast your vote at the ballot boxes or wherever, there should be someone with a questionnaire asking, okay, before you vote,
have you ever been blah blah blah,
yeah, blah blah, and you just give it to them. So yes or no. And they look at it. If it says yes on the child thing or a murder, you're not allowed to vote. But I got the card. You're still not allowed to vote under these I guess the codes of the state, and they should have it, and they should have it written down for them, and then let them go check and say, okay, you can't vote. It's that simple. They just scamming, you know, people, setting them up.
And it is about, you know, and suppressing the vote, making sure that, you know, and look at what's happening. And but guess what? You know, you brought Texas up, and what's funny about Texas is apparently there was some research done about Texas. They are the #1 state in the United States with election deniers. Check this out.
Ooh, oh yeah.
Choice is clear as it's ever been.
President Joe Biden won the 2020 election. More than 60 lawsuits tried to prove fraud and overturn the results, and none succeeded. But according to 538, a political website, 201 of the 552 Republican candidates this November fully deny the election results.
It's not surprising because remember that this has been an issue since January 6th.
Kimmy Lynn King is a political science professor at the University of North Texas. She says politicians continue to push the baseless claim about the election to motivate Republican voters.
They need to keep the momentum going for making sure that their reliable Republican voters turn out.
According to 538's research, only 2 of Texas's 38 candidates running for U.S. House fully accept the election results, and Texas has the most election deniers of any state.
If you look in terms of the statistical evidence, it simply does not exist.
King says possibly more important to watch are 10 states where the Secretary of State candidate is an election denier and could leave results in perpetual audits, make it harder to vote, and create more doubt. Attorney General candidate Ken Paxton has fully denied the election results, even suing but failing to overturn them, and Governor Greg Abbott, who's also running for re-election, has raised questions about the results.
Everyone after the 2020 election on both sides, Republican and Democrat, need to be thinking about what our democracy is.
In Dallas, I'm William Joy.
But it's an interesting little strategy they have that I never really thought about. That spin, you know, is to fire up my base. You know, hey, we got screwed. They really, you know, took us hook, line, and sinker, and we didn't see it coming, and we got sucker punched and all this other BS, right? You know, the referees were against us. You know, so now your fan base gets like, oh, we're not going to let that happen again.
That's just Texas itself. Texas, Virginia, 2 of the probably I shouldn't say it, states in the United States.
What's interesting, yeah, and now what you'll see in is they have what do they call those these people that are election watchers, and some of them are this I've heard some of them are even armed, and I mean it can be intimidating people walking up, who knows what's being said to certain individuals. As they're walking up, as you got these observers and, depending upon the area, and the mindset of the individuals that are observing.
Yeah, that's harassment, but you call the police and the police are on their side. They probably will have them already on their side anyway. So at the end of the day, you like, if I got to go through all that to vote, I might as well not do it. But they should hold certain areas that people feel safe to vote in,
And they may say, I'm exercising the right to my, Fourth Amendment, First Amendment, freedom of speech. And, well, I'll say it over here on this corner, but I'll say it loud enough, but y'all over here can hear me, right? Who knows? And intimidating enough. But I was surprised that out of, what did they say, 552, 201 say that the election was stolen. It's like half of them almost. Yeah, it's like, So it's an interesting mindset, but then again, maybe it's not the mindset. It's actually, a tool they're trying to utilize to fire up their base. Who knows?
Or they're just sore losers, and that's what most people are, sore losers, especially when they feel that it's theirs. So, but they're just sore losers, man. You lost. When nobody complained when all those other presidents won. When Trump was in office, you didn't see the Democrats whipping around and crying and starting all this crap up. They said, all right, we'll be ready for next time. Trump gave it up. Get mad at Trump. He the one messed up. He gave it up.
Yeah, he's the one that lost it. So we're in the middle of our midterm elections anyhow. I know that you've been watching all the garbage that's on TV, and I mean that you already got the walk-in. You guys got walk-in voting started yet down in Texas? We do up here in Ohio.
No, we don't. We haven't heard anything about
we have the walk-in early voting.
Oh yeah, the early voting, yeah, of course, yes.
But now, I mean, it's really starting to get to be a slugfest, with the political ads. So check it out. Let's see what we got going on.
If it means helping Georgia.
Now that's really nuts. I'll turn Madison upside down, so when the false attacks start flying, remember who's behind it and why.
Whitmer says she's gonna work like hell to keep killing babies.
There's only one person who can make this choice.
How much time do I have?
And that person is Greg.
Greg?
Who the is Greg? Yeah, let me just give him a call.
They say you can know a person by their enemies. Well, here comes their bull dads. That's from the people who push bad trade deals with China. I vote against them every single time. They say you can know a person by their enemies.
I believe that the current criminal justice system is racist.
I vote against them every single time.
If you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
This is designed to kill people. But if you're not a bad guy, I support your right to own one.
No step too high for a high stepper.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
What does that mean anyway? I don't know, but I like it.
Wild hogs destroying farmers' fields. So we decided to go hog hunting.
I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. So when people say I won't support guns, they're dead wrong. Boom!
Vaccine mandates, open borders for illegal immigrants.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall.
If Joe Biden keeps shipping illegal immigrants into our states,
we all gonna have to learn Spanish. My message to Biden, no way, Jose.
The radical left will destroy America if we don't stop them. They indoctrinate children and try to turn boys into girls.
In schools, they are pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
And if this looks anything other than a veggie tray to you, then I am not your candidate.
Fetterman supports releasing 1/3 of the prison population and wants to eliminate life sentences for murderers. That's just crazy.
Herschel Walker facing devastating abuse accusations from his own son,
saying he has committed atrocities against him and his mother.
But I've tried to keep the way that he acts under wraps for a long time, and today he crossed the line. So that is what is going on here, and he's a great actor. He is phenomenal at putting on a really good show.
In 2016, a fraud was elected to Congress. The perpetrator, Clay Higgins, remains at large and is wanted for putting a gun to his wife's head, threatening her if she divorced him, and refusing to pay child support for 17 years.
Hi, I'm Tom Rice.
Hi, Tom.
I'm a politician, and I said I was for term limits, but I've been in Washington more than 10 years, and I supported raising taxes, and I even voted to impeach Donald Trump.
Tom, I think it's time for you to leave.
Get the fuck. He said he gonna call the police or a crackhead. It's called a crackhead. What the hell? That's some of the funniest stuff I ever seen in my life. They had to have Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams or somebody write for them. They couldn't have not have thought that stuff up themselves, man.
Yeah, don't you wonder, where they come up with this, shooting hogs and jumping in peanuts and.
She said we got to learn Spanish. No
and
way.
We got. Oh, was that the racist? Oh, I couldn't believe that one too.
Man,
wow.
Then she dancing. I said she finna fall. If she don't.
And she wasn't. She was so far off beat. You should have called that the heart attack day.
And these are the people that we voting for. I'm like, y'all don't even seem serious. I'm like, y'all taking it for y'all look like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like the dude next door that makes about $60,000 a year. That's real cool as hell. They get off work, smoke weed, drink some beers with, be saying crazy shit. That's what they sound like. One of those guys that just a weekend kicking it.
The cool people, the cool old person that lives down the street and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To go smoke a little weed with them, drink some beers, talk about some old stories in the military or whatever the hell they did. People that those what they sound like. They look like that old grandmama that want to be cool all of a sudden. That's in the backyard front yard trying to ride a skateboard and fall and break her hip. Get the.
But yeah, the mindset. The
brothers stay in the peanuts. If that ain't no damn Uncle Sam, Uncle Tom, whatever they call it, but they ain't no straight up just.
Yeah, I don't quite get where they were going with that. I don't know either. Maybe he didn't know where he was going with that whole.
I don't know if maybe he's saying that it's got to be peanuts. I don't know. I'm just. Then they said the guy didn't pay. Okay, he said he put a gun to it. I don't know. He didn't pay $117,000.
I mean, I imagine. I mean, we have the stuff here in Ohio, battling, and I'm sure you do down there in Texas too, with whoever Abbott's going against and whoever.
I'm just trying to
say these people
they
are just crazy.
Hey, they said that one guy is still at large and not paid $117,000 in child support. I know a couple of dudes that went to jail for not paying $200 or $300. How do you get to $117,000? They need to move down there if you can get away with that much.
Yeah, who knows?
You got to be at least 100.
There could be just like a little bit of truth in there somewhere that maybe he had some kind of a new job, or he got some type of windfall off of stock trading, who the heck knows what, and and he owed it.
That's a lot of child
support. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey. But I mean, point being, you're right. I know people that's in jail for just three figures, couple thousand,
I got a cousin that he was in jail for way less than that. I'm like, well, how much?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. But to have that kind of debt or to child support?
Then like Herschel's ex-wife, I'm like, listen. if he was that bad a long time ago, were you saying something a long time ago? Why say something now? That's why I get kind of like this suspect right there. I get kind of
Yep.
skeptical
You
about
need to
that.
be skeptical. Yeah, absolutely.
Vince said
But
something now.
yeah, there's always two sides to every story, and somewhere in between there's the truth.
Yeah, and then she's staying in apartments. I can tell she's staying in apartments in Herschel. Probably got a big, nice house and all that. She's salty or whatever. So I'm like, I don't know.
She's tired of Herschel having a soft life and living it up, and
Yeah, all of them fishy. All the politicians are fishy. All of them are trash. I won't vote for now one of them.
absolutely.
Not
And
one.
I mean, if you're
'Cause they-
powerful enough, you
Yeah,
got
they take
enough
them
money. That leads us right on to our next issue: Trump's continuous problems. And apparently, some years back, Trump was accused of raping a girl in a dressing room. This is some time back, and then he slandered her, and now he has to go to court over defamation of this woman.
President Trump must sit for a deposition in a defamation lawsuit. A judge denied his request to pause that deposition that's scheduled for next Wednesday. Columnist E. Jean Carroll filed the lawsuit in 2019, claiming that Trump raped her in the mid-1990s. He denied it and accused her of fabricating the claim to boost book sales. An attorney for Trump says they look forward to establishing that the case is entirely without merit.
So that would be Wednesday today. That'd be Wednesday today.
Isn't that like a statute of limitations? It's like the Bill Cosby thing and all that. I'm like, what's up with that, man?
It's not about the rape. Excuse me. It's about the way he libeled her in newspapers and public. So he defamed her. So it's a defamation.
Okay, I got it.
It's a defamation
she did it
file. Right. So I mean,
2019.
I would sit there and have to believe, as far as the rape charge, yeah, it's probably the stat. I think the only thing that'll last that long is a murder charge, right?
Yeah, if there's an ongoing investigation, yeah, pretty much.
But otherwise, yeah. So yeah,
the trials last forever,
That's a long time ago, but it's interesting. I mean, Trump's always into something and trying to weasel out of it,
And I believe he did it too.
Who knows? I mean,
I believe I'm pretty sure he defamed her. I know that for a fact. Now, the other part of sexual assault.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever watched him up on stage, the way he talks about people, did you ever watch him on The Apprentice? Talk about it. Come on. Do you think that he has the ability to talk nasty about you? He's expert at it.
Look like he talked about former President Barack Obama.
So I would have to sit there and say, yeah, he probably did, and he probably owes her some change. Hey, that's the way. That's your character. I guess you got to pay for the way you are. If that's
You got to pay to say.
Well, sometimes Trump likes to say, just because he likes to say. He likes to make himself feel good about certain things, make him feel a little bit powerful about certain things. And let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What's also revealing, Anderson, is how Trump seems to need to try to impress Bob Woodward, including at times telling him about classified information.
I have built a weapons system that nobody's ever had in this country before. We have stuff that you haven't even seen or heard about. We have stuff that Putin and Xi have never heard about before. Getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing, all right? Especially because they have 1,332 nuclear warheads.
It's funny, the relationships I have, the tougher and meaner they are, the better I get along with them. You'll explain that to me someday, okay? But maybe it's not a bad thing. The easy ones are the ones I maybe don't like as much or don't get along with as much.
Woodward says he was never able to verify the weapons system, Anderson, but he uses it as an example of just how casual, dangerous, cavalier, those are quotes from Woodward, that Trump is about classified information. The audio also has another recurring theme. Trump, over and over and over, tells Woodward just how tough he is.
There's nobody that's tougher than me. Nobody's tougher than me. You asked me about impeachment. I'm under impeachment, and you said, you just act like you just won. Nixon was in a corner with his thumb in his mouth. Yeah. Bill Clinton took it very, very hard. I just do things, okay?
That dude's an asshole, man.
Isn't he amazing? Can you imagine that? And he's talking that stuff to Bob Woodward, and it's got to get out there, these are, why would you put classified information out there like that? And that's how careless he is with classified information. And then he's complaining about Mar-a-Lago, that they came in and they took classified information, that he somehow, maybe when he talks about stuff like that, i.e. with the, how many nukes the Russians may have, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he talks about it, it declassifies it.
I'm like, why would you want somebody in your office that's going to talk that much and tweet that much and say that much and act so nonchalant about something as serious?
Is that
country?
Yes.
And the president of the United States is serious. Greatest country in the world. I don't care what any other body say from any country that's watching. I love y'all countries, but I'm from the United States, and you can come here with nothing and make something. It's kind of hard to do it in other countries. But I think you can come here and do it legally. There's
a zillion other people out there. A zillion other people out there in this world. Anybody but him can be president.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, you don't see other presidents.
Dangerous.
But that's what makes our country so bad. Then, with it being so great, what makes it so bad is you get guys like that in office that'll just beat it down and tear it down. You know what I'm saying? It just makes the United States look bad compared to other countries when we're the greatest country on earth. We might lack with resources or something, and money wise, but we have a lot of personality. We have a lot of diversity, and that's what makes us so special.
That's exactly what makes us so special. And you're 100% right. I mean, there's a plethora of individuals out there that are, can lead this country and bring us right back to where we need to be again. And there's
we don't need people like that. These other politicians is trying to be there. Trash. He's trash. As a human being, when it was on the show, okay. Outside of him being the president, have your fun. Be Trump, but don't be Trump when you're supposed to be leading this country. He's a terrible leader.
Right. I just don't like being a nation divided.
Oh, I'm like, we need some leaders. We don't need people like all those other guys, even Herschel Walker. We don't need people like that leading our country. Our states, our local governments, our federal government. We don't need idiots like that.
No, we do not. Larry. Anyhow, hey, man, let us move on to one of your favorite episodes in the show, and that goes to, I just can't wait. Who is this week's asshole? Well, actually, I think you may have seen it in a teaser video earlier. But this would be Senator Kennedy.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
He said call a crackhead. And so anytime you put crackhead with any sentence is funny.
I mean, it's to even elude it that direction. I mean, what kind of a deranged individual is that? I mean, you could call anybody, but why a crackhead?
He said I'm just saying crackhead is hilarious. Just think about it. He said, hey man, my car broke down. You know what, bro? I know this crackhead. They can
call a crackhead. I got a battery. Call a crackhead.
Hey man, you know what? I'm gonna miss my flight. I need to get to the airport. I know this crackhead that can get up there real fast, man. What we need cops for, what we need Uber for, what we need grocery stores for. If you need something, just call a damn crackhead.
No, I had to pull that one off for asshole of the week. I mean, the Spanish comment was pretty bad.
Oh my God, it was hilarious.
But this call a crackhead just iced the cake. I was like,
That's
wow.
classic, bro. It's classic, man. I'm like, it's gonna be one of my turns. Call a crackhead, man. I caught my wife cheating on me. What you gonna do? Hey, I caught my wife cheating on me last night. I'm gonna call my wife cheating on me. Yeah, call a crackhead. I'm gonna call a crackhead. My daughter got in trouble in school. Man, I'm gonna call this crackhead, bro. I'm gonna call this crackhead, and they
But you know what? Let's get serious because
I'm gonna make me a shirt.
I call a crackhead.
I'm gonna make me a shirt. Call a crackhead. I swear to God.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Make me a shirt. Call a crackhead. Okay, I'm ready.
Anyhow. Thanks to you, though, sometimes there are some good people out in the world, and you sent me this, okay?
I know some.
There's some good people out there, and I mean, besides that, we do have our fair share of buttholes. There are some good people, and Larry brought this to my attention.
The Girl Scouts of America has received its largest ever donation from a single individual. Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, gifted the organization $84.5 million. 29 councils will receive funds to be used in under-engaged areas, and there will be an expanded focus on career readiness and mental wellness. You may recall Scott recently donated millions to the El Paso del Norte Foundation.
Hey, let me add too. She also donated some millions to people that are looking for new homeowners. I forgot, it's a homeowner organization to low-income people and African Americans in low-income neighborhoods. She donated millions to that too. Incredible. See, I love telling rich people what to do with their money. That's what you do with your money.
Yeah, if you want to have, and I would imagine there's some benefit to her.
Yeah, it is.
There's some benefit to her if you think she's unloading those millions and just out of the kindness of her heart, partially. Because, there's some, it sure helps with, keeping, the money in your pocket so you can still do something with it. Because it's all
you can
money.
write that off too.
Right. You can write part of that off. So, I mean, there's an advantage both ways. But that was
she's
very nice.
She's investing to young women. She's investing to low income people trying to build homes in African. Because if you look at the whole, if people, you get a chance, go look at the whole spill of what she did, and it'll tell you everything she donated money to. And I was very, very impressed.
And that's Bezos' ex-wife.
Yeah, the Amazon
wig. Yeah.
She divorced him and said, "You know what? I'm going to donate this damn money." That's probably what he probably hated more than anything. Donate money. She said, "I'm going to hit you where it hurts." That's how women to get you.
I'm going to give your money away.
Give it away. He's mad right now. He mad.
Mad as hell. Mad as hell.
He ready to call a crackhead. Yeah, but he said,
he's probably thinking about that. Yeah, I ought to call a crackhead.
I'm going to call a crackhead. I
don't know what she was thinking.
People to call a crackhead. I'm going to give me a shirt, call a crackhead.
I'll tell you what, man. Let's get ready to wrap this shit. Call a crackhead, man. I don't know what to do with you, Larry. Except say that it's time for y'all to give him your tip of the week. Get you in the picture here. Kaboom.
My name is Larry Estelle of LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. You can check me out on Facebook at LRE Fitness Solutions or Instagram at LRE Fitness Solutions. My tip of this week is to push yourself, not punish yourself. The whole point of physical training, whether it's cardiovascular training or weight training, is to progress. So you got to make sure you push yourself to progress, add more intensity, add more time, have less rest periods where your body can get used to the tension and pressure you're putting on it so it can improve and keep building. But at the end of the day, push yourself, don't punish yourself. Don't overtrain. Do not avoid getting the rest you should get. And make sure if you feel, if you're hurting at any time and the pain persists for a long period of time, either see a doctor, quit, or just call a crackhead. That's all you got to do, and you'll be okay. So that's my tip this week from LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving, and
call a crackhead.
A crackhead. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, appreciate you. And hey, shout out to my queen. Appreciate you dropping in and sharing, Queen Sylvie, and everybody else that is on with us tonight. And one thing I would like to share a thought, it would be life is more about making an impact than an income. So make an impact.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's always a good one. That's what it's all about. Make an impact. That's why we are here, to make an impact, Larry. And speaking of that, let's go make an impact on our refrigerator. Go get something to eat. You heard? And tell these people, hey, until next week, man, peace. We out of here.